to the UK, what would you say, you know, the differences for you as an artist and a musician compared to being a Canadian artist and now being a UK artist?
Well, it's funny because I wasn't an artist in Canada for very long. I kind of started, but then I ended up well, I guess I could let me compare it to the States because I spent a lot of time in Atlanta and in Miami making music, more so than when I came back to Canada. And then when I went back to Canada, it was just for a brief stint before I came to the UK.
Okay.
But in
Or
regards,
even compare it between all three, Canada,
okay. So, okay, I will. So this is the thing. Canada is emerging. So I feel like it's so fresh, it's so new that everybody who was trying to have a career there,
Okay.
like you said, felt like they had to go somewhere else. They had to go to the States if they wanted to make it. So, and everything was like really on a lower scale.
Okay.
I felt like the expectations were a lot less there.
Okay.
And yeah, I just felt like the expectations were a lot less. And in America, I really loved it there. I felt like it was easy to build a team. People worked really hard. If somebody believed in you, they would actually do something. They would take action instead of just like be all talk.
Okay.
Of course, you do get that. You do get the people who I thought there's a lot of like people who smoke or blow smoke up your ass kind of thing, you know. But I've found that anywhere.
Okay.
Feel like in the UK, more people are for themselves. It's harder to build a team here unless you really have great friends or network that you can pull from. But saying that, as an artist, I felt like I could be more authentically myself here in the UK versus in America. I felt like there I had to be somebody else. I would have to mold myself into something that was current or something that they wanted from me versus just being able to write and create what I wanted and still have people listen or still accept it because it was coming from me. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I felt like there was more of an avenue for me to explore in the UK, and I could be more free with my music, and not have to be in like be doing the biggest trend at the moment or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like in Atlanta, I had to do the thing with 808 if I was going to get heard, or you know, kind of thing, or I had to be a gospel artist or a big R&B artist, you know, to get heard. So like kind of piggybacking on what you were saying, I feel like the artistry is very important here in the UK, and with artistry comes authenticity, and that's where I have found the biggest difference for myself as an artist.
Okay.
If that answers your question.
So I read in a sense you did some backup for Shania Twain.
That was in Canada. Yeah, that was in Canada. That was my first ever, you know, that was before I even knew I wanted to be a music artist. You know, that opportunity came about, and it was an awesome experience.
Okay.
I was very young. I was 16. You know, yeah, and that's all that was really.
So for you, I mean, for example, like what do you feel for yourself have been the biggest challenges, and as well, like where do you see your passion more, in the acting or in the music?
I think music, you know, as much as I love both, and I don't think I'll ever stop acting because I do love acting. I feel with acting, I don't get the sense I can't be as creative. I can't be as free because I'm taking somebody's words, and even though I'm creating a character that's coming from me, you still have a director. You're still being directed. And as much as I love embodying somebody else and that whole, I will always love acting. I'll always love just losing myself in a character and telling stories. Because I'm a storyteller, even through my music. That's what I do. There's a freedom with music that I will never get with acting that I need in my life. And so if you said, if you had to live without one or the other, I would say I could live without acting, but I couldn't live without music or making music or creating music. So yeah, and it's so funny because the fact that I started in the music game really quite late, not as a singer because I've been singing my entire life, but actually like recording and putting out music, that started quite late. You know, I started quite late in the game. But the fulfillment that I've felt since I started, like I remember the first time I went into the recording studio to record a track, I felt like, give me a sleeping bag and I can sleep in the recording studio and I'd be able to stay there for days and be okay with it. You know, I could live there. That's how much it fulfilled me. And just being able to build something from scratch, from the beginning to the end, you know, from the concept to then melodically, you know, putting it down to then lyrics and then the finished product and then the visuals after, if you do have a music video, like the I don't the it's almost euphoric, you know, when you start from scratch and then you get to the end and then you're like, I built that. I built this, you know. There's something so beautiful about that. And then having the courage to then put it out into the world is another thing, because it took me a long time to be brave enough to take my stuff and say, here you go. Have a listen to this. This is my soul on a plate. What do you think? You know? So yeah, that was a challenge for me. But eventually now, like, well, eventually it became, it moved, it transitioned from fear to excitement. Because now, you know,
it's been easier or harder for you being in the UK or in the States, like in the sense when you made the transition from United States to UK as an artist, what do you feel has been the difference just for you?
Uh, well, it's hard because honestly, as a music artist, I've spent the majority of my life as a music artist in the UK, very small amounts in the States. So I don't think I could answer that honestly unless I spent the same amount of time in the States,
Okay.
as I have here to give it a fair comparison. But I think they both have their challenges. I don't know if I would be further along in the States. I just feel like you're kind of I think in the UK it's harder in terms of the marketing. It's harder in terms of finding people who understand how to put you out there properly. You can make all the music you want in the world and you can be the best musician, but it's finding, unless you are amazing at social media and you can market yourself and you can go out and you can brand yourself and you can have a big following and you can do it on your own, you know.
Well, you have two options in this business. You either
Yeah.
hire somebody that knows how to do it,